And joining us for a closer look at Russia's parade, Dr. Donald Jensson. He's the director for Russia and Europe at the United States Institute of Peace, which is a federal institution tasked with promoting conflict resolution and prevention worldwide. And Dr. Jensson is also an adjunct professor at Johns Hopkins University. Dr. Donald Jensson, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Putin's speech had been nervously anticipated for what he might declare about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. What can we draw from his speech?
Well, people expected perhaps escalation, perhaps announcing part of Ukraine would be annexed, perhaps something else. But I think in large part, people were disappointed if they expected big news to come out of it. There was no mobilization of troops announced. And I thought personally that the mood was gloomy. He seemed defensive. There are a lot of staging of the event differences from the last couple of years, which was very interesting. He was much more alone. The other government members had a more secondary position. There was no chairman of the Russian military general staff, Gerasimov. So there were a lot of interesting nuances there, which may not mean anything, but on the other hand, they may indicate the amount of concern Russia has about the way things are going.
And he also didn't formally declare war during his speech. Is that significant?
It's significant in terms of mobilization. Russia needs more troops, even if they're badly trained and too young. And the issue of mobilization and declaring war are related. In order now, I think, to really win in Ukraine, he's going to need a lot more soldiers. And frankly, those are not really available readily. So a mobilization would have provided that legally. Not that that matters a lot to Putin. It would have provided more authority for cracking down at home, and it didn't happen. So it was a very interesting speech, not with a lot of content, but the atmosphere was very interesting and many things were noteworthy about it, all of which suggest gloom, perhaps crisis in Moscow about what's going on.
And when it comes down to it, why does this speech matter to the U.S.?
It matters to the U.S., first of all, until he gave it, that this might announce a new Russian approach, new Russian initiative, new Russian activism in the war. But it's also a snapshot. This is just like the Cold War in that you see Putin, people are wondering about his health, people are wondering about this and that, who sits where. People are wondering, frankly, why didn't the aircraft show up today? They said it was due to weather, and there's no rain near Moscow at all. And as someone Russian said, you can't have the whole country under a hurricane watch. So the fact that no plane showed up today is another clue to a very difficult problem, which is understanding what's going on in the Kremlin. And we'll take all the clues we can get, even if it's watching a parade that's essentially empty, which it was today.
Dr. Jensson, thank you.
Thank you.